Hey everyone, it is Sunday. Thank you so much for joining me for yet another tutorial. Today I will be sharing with you a couple of things I learned while I was reacquainting myself with my Cricut Explore 1, as I mentioned in my last video. I had the Cricut Explore 1 for over a year, and I really did not give it a good chance or even try to get to know it. I was actually just entirely intimidated by it, so I made a conscious effort to reacquaint myself with it. In this video, I will show you a couple of things that I learned, and that's just very basic that I'm sharing with you. And of course, on YouTube, there are several other Cricut users who give you more in-depth information. But as a learner and trying to get a go at it by myself, I am going to just share with you what I learned. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my YouTube channel. One of the things that I liked most about this was since I had not used it for a year, when I went in, and of course I still had my login information, it updated the software. Now, before it comes up, it usually looks for any software that you may need, and of course it updates it so that you are actually up to date with everything that is current with Design Space and of course with Cricut. So that's what I definitely appreciated. So at this time, I'm just going to show you just very briefly. This would be the home page. On the home page, you would see your projects if you have had any projects yet, or if you're starting, this would be blank, but at least as you start making projects, they will all show up here. And of course, you notice I do have some here as well. Then you can also have Cricut Access, which of course gives you access to many projects that you could do for a price. It could be 99 cents to a few dollars. It just depends on what you would like. There is the infusible ink section where it shows you different projects you can do. And there is the creative cards, which is where I would fall in. You know, if I'm looking for inspiration or I need some sort of a card base or something, I definitely would, you know, look in this section here. And of course, I would imagine those would be, there would be a price attached for using those cards. And of course, there's the iron-on section and fall celebrations. So there's different sections that you can take a look at if you know, just want to take a peek. And I believe this section here, it says start saving. Yes, so it takes you to the Cricut website where you could basically shop from the Cricut Joy, the different machines. So it's something you would, you know, browse through and take a look at on your own. And of course, the Cricut Access plans monthly, annually, or if not yearly. Just depends on if you want to take advantage of this. I personally don't, because I really am not using the Cricut for all of that. So it's fine with me. So I'm going to just minimize that. And on the left side of the screen, and I believe it might be your right, is just where you set up your machine, where your canvas is, meaning the design space. The home page is where we are right here. It has your profile, it has, you know, just your file, view different things, help center. It has how to get your oh dear, your cutting blade fixed and checked out to make sure it's cutting properly. Then you have custom material, update firmware, account details, your settings. Under your settings, it would just basically be your language, what sort of grid you want, if it's full grid, partial grid. I think I have partial grid right now. And of course the metrics that you're using, if it's imperial or metric, and then you can save for offline use, your projects for offline use, and on cloud. And here you are, here is the canvas. Now I am going to just talk about 3 things that I have learned. Not that I have not made a project, but just the three things that I have learned. And to start off, it would be attach, slice, and weld. Now, I will not go into a whole set of detail because I'm still learning, but I just wanted to share with you guys so that you could see what I learned. So, as long as you have those basic things, then it becomes a little less complicated. But of course, I would also be acquainting myself with the different functions of the design space as well, which I already tried, but I don't want to go into them today. I just want to show the basics. So what I did was, here we have shapes. I am going to take a square and I'm going to do a circle. With the circle, I am going to go ahead, let me see, I have the color here. I'm going to go ahead and put it blue because I want you to see the distinction between the two shapes. So here is a square and here is a shape. Now I'm just going to pull it. I'm not sizing it any specific size or anything. I'm just demonstrating. Now you have these two here. The first function I'm going to do is attach. Now, as far as attachment, I will learn a little more about attachment later, but for now, I'm just showing you how and where to attach. So here's your square, here's your circle. What you will be doing is highlighting your circle, dragging it over. Let's say that's what you want to do. I'm just going to set it on the side here. Hold down the shift key on your keyboard or your laptop pad or however you do it. Use your left key on your mouse, highlight the square. What happens is both objects will be highlighted. Now you go down to the lower right and you see there these functions have been highlighted. So there's attach, there's weld, and there's slice. So we're going to do attach. So I have attached. What it does, it keeps the two shapes together. Pretty much that's all it does. So you can move it as one. So even if I untick or unclick, how you call it, and it's here, once I click on it, everything moves as one. And that could be a function maybe to just make sure you keep things where you want it so they don't move around. Again, I am learning, still learning, but this is attached. That's the basic. So I am going to go back down to the lower right and I'm going to unattach. Now I can take the circle away from the square. Again, you have your circle attached to your square. Hold the shift key down on your pad, highlight the square and attach. It moves as one and you can detach. So that's just the basic. The other one would be to weld. Now, one thing I can tell you about weld is once you weld, just like a mechanic, it seals it together. So however you weld it, that's how the piece is going to cut. Example. So I have the square. I'm going to take my circle and I'm going to put it, say, pretend it's half-half. Hold my shift key down, also highlight my square. So now it is one object. Now, I am going to go down to the lower right and I'm going to weld. Now look what happens. You see right now you can actually, oopsie, you could see this distinctive circle right here. Now when I weld, watch what happens. See? There is nothing in here anymore. It welds it as one and it will cut it as one, just exactly how you see it here. So if you're doing a card or you're doing anything and you weld it, however you see it here, that's how it's going to cut. That's how the Cricut is going to cut. So now, if that's not what you want, then you're going to go ahead and undo, which is good. You can undo. Okay. So I'm going to go back here to the top, above here where all the rest of the functions are. I'm going to highlight the circle again because I want it to be blue. Okay. So this is what welding is. Again, you will drag your circle over, and it doesn't have to be a circle, it's just an example. Hold down the shift key on your keypad or your keyboard, left click to highlight the square, weld, and it becomes the same color with this here. You can highlight it, and you can, if you want, you can change the color so that the whole thing will be blue. It's up to you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and undo. So now we have both of them out. So we looked at attach, we looked at weld. Now let's look at slice. Now, slice is literally a slice. It's just like if you have a banana or a mango or something and you take a slice out of it, that's exactly what happens. It takes out a slice. So I'm going to drag this to the center of this, my center, not necessarily Cricut center, but my center. I am going to hold the shift key down. I'm going to highlight the square with the left side of my mouse, and I am going to slice. Okay, now you see there is the square and the circle, but looks what happens. When I remove the blue circle, there is that other space under here, the layer. I'm going to also click on that, hold and drag it. So now here is your negative space. So essentially when this get cuts out, the Cricut is going to cut out this hole because it know, okay, there's supposed to be nothing in here. So this is the slice. So I'm going to go ahead and get it back, and I am going to undo. So now it is two pieces again. Now I can do, let's try this. Here's another one. Hold the shift key down, left click on your mouse, and you're going to slice. So if you notice what happened, it sliced off the edge. So this is a separate piece now on its own. So it has sliced it because this area here to the right or your left of the square was actually not part of the slicing process. So now I'm going to hold and drag the blue. I'm going to hold and drag the other piece, and as you notice there is some negative space right here. So when the Cricut machine cuts, it's going to cut, cut, go around, go down, go up, cut. That's what it's going to do. Okay, so that is what slice is. So I'm going to undo, and then I'm going to go through one more time so we can make sure that you guys know exactly what I know. Again, we're going to start off with attach. We're going to drag this over, press your shift key, highlight the square, and you attach. So it moves as one object, so you can move it around, drag it around, do whatever you want to, so it remains where you put it. Okay, but it doesn't cut it that way. I think that's the difference. Let's undo, attach, and let us do weld. So I'm going to just put halfway here, press the shift key, left mouse click, and I'm going to weld, and it's going to cut exactly how it's shown here, just like that. Okay, so let's undo weld, and then we're going to do the last one, which is slice. I'm going to go ahead and just put it anywhere, to be honest, just to show you. Press the shift key, left key, mouse click, and then we're going to slice. Now it's sliced off the end piece, and now I'm going to go ahead and hold on the left the mouse, left click, hold and drag, and likewise this piece. So now here is what the Cricut is going to cut. Now you could always X out, or get rid of all of those, and if that's all you need, and then the Cricut is just going to cut it out this way for you. Okay, so pretty much that's the three functions that I have learned so far. I have been working on let me see where my projects here. These are my projects. I was experimenting with this one. But next week I'm going to try doing this one so that I can show you what happened with it. I will actually try to demonstrate it with you available so that you can see exactly what I did. So that is pretty much it. So with that said, thank you so very much for joining me and watching. And again, I am just trying to reacquaint with this Cricut Explore, but I am by no means an expert. There are plenty of other Cricut users out there. You may be able to expand on the attachment, the welding, and the slicing. Feel free to do some research of your own. And of course, I will, as I learn, I will share with you. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe and just enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye bye.